2026 percentages for rent setting by the TEL are to be released Monday, and housing advocates expect them to be among the highest in the last 20 years. With the cost of rents continuing to rise dramatically and recent changes to Quebec's rent fixing laws, many Montrealers have been left feeling helpless. Now, One Tenants Action Committee is offering Montrealers in the West Island free workshops to teach tenants about their rights. Joining me now to discuss is community organizer Lily Martin for the West Island Tenants Action Committee. Lily, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Starting off, as I mentioned, housing advocates are predicting Monday's percentages and numbers to be the highest in the last 20 years. What type of challenges would you expect to see with such an increase, and why are the numbers so high?
The reality is that rents are and have been increasing at rates that are significantly higher than we're seeing wages increase, certainly than we're seeing pensions increase. So there are going to be more people that are pushed out of their apartments and that are on the street because they are no longer able to keep up with these rent increases, many of which are legal according to the government regulations. The reason that we're seeing such high increases, and we don't have the exact percentage for this year, we're estimating that it's going to be slightly lower than last year's 5.9%, which was historic, but it's still going to be probably higher than what we had been seeing over the decades, which was percentages hovering around 1 to 2%.
And just in terms of, you're mentioning the things that tenants are having to go through, what can the government do to really ease the pain that renters are experiencing?
So we want mandatory rent control. We want the percentage of rent increase to be based on the real cost of running the building rather than inflation rates and other market-based factors. We want there to be a maximum percentage so that it's clear for everyone what the standard is, and we want landlords to have the obligation to go to the TAL and justify why they want to exceed that percentage. And finally, we want a mandatory public rent registry because a lot of these huge rent increases that we see are between two tenants.
Looking ahead, what advice would you give to renters who may face such increases?
I would say that I mean, the most important thing you can do is inform yourself of your rights. Because if your landlord is trying to increase your rent more than what is legally allowable, you do have a right to refuse it and to stay in your apartment. So that would be my my piece of advice, which it's certainly not going to do much for people that are already struggling and that are that are unfortunately being faced with high rent increases that are deemed legal by our current system. We as tenants make up a significant population of the city of Montreal and of the demerged cities of the West Island, and there is a power that we should have in order to hold our elected officials accountable and get organized so that we can improve our conditions.
And just lastly, tell us about the workshop that you're holding on January 20th.
Yeah, so the workshop on January 20th is going to be at the Point Claire Public Library. It's going to be in English from 7 to 9 p.m. It's the first in a series of 9 workshops that we're offering. And basically during these workshops, we're going to go over, what your rights are as a tenant when you're getting your lease renewal notice and faced with a rent increase.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.